Well, folks, is it just me? I think my callers are having some difficulties. Uh, and I'm going to just do this solo. Solo sucks. I'm not doing it solo. See you guys next week. Love you. Because we want intelligent discourse, right? I'll delete this anyway, but I feel like talking. Nobody's here. It's just me. What we're going to talk about, I'll talk about it anyway. We're going to talk about working for yourself, starting a business from scratch and building a business. And I've started a couple of businesses, and I know a little bit about that. I know a little bit more about it than me. So I was looking forward to talking to them, and hopefully I will in the future. But since you're here, and Get Vocal doesn't do this. There's no solo cast. So maybe the CEO will say, hey, don't do that again. But I'm going to do it right now and see how it goes. Welcome. If you've never been to Get Vocal before, welcome. This is your first time. If you've been here before, welcome back. It's a platform, a new platform where we're socially engaged and getting people back to speaking to one another, whether you're agreeing or not. You know, I was just on Instagram today and somebody was talking about disagreeing. And we can't do that anymore without like there being, it's like a line drawn and people got to die at the end of a disagreement, or you got to be on that other side. You know, it's kind of crazy and it's a little scary too. But Get Vocal is a cool platform that I'm happy to be a part of, where people can agree, disagree, and then walk away. It's sort of like the comment section brought to life. So, and at the end of this, there's going to be a new way, and there is now, for you to jump into your own vocals and maybe share the stage with some of the panelists or hosts, or have conversations amongst yourselves. So stay tuned, more exciting stuff on the way. But today, we're really talking to my chef community about starting a business from scratch. I know that I've started a couple of businesses myself, and there's some things that are pretty easy and pretty simple, and there's some things that we spend time on that maybe don't deserve as much attention, but it's a challenge the whole way. But it's pretty exciting when you talk about what you want to do and the people that you want to serve and the problems that you want to solve. Pretty exciting stuff. The work, it's almost like any relationship you get into. The work is in the work, right? So it's fun to sort of plan a party or something like that, or a wedding, but the work is in the actual doing it and making it a success. And then after it becomes a success, it's actually maintaining it. So I won't take a lot of time. Like I said, Get Vocal is not really a solo cast atmosphere, but I'm going to do it anyway because I'm by myself. And I feel like at least one of you came here to maybe hear about what the topic was about. So I'm going to do it anyway. Shift Drink, as you know, it's a show I created. Tonight I got a little Shiraz. What are you all drinking on? There's no feedback here. Maybe later on, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, hit me up, let me know what you're sipping on. I got a little Shiraz there, a little spicy. Starting a business. When I think about starting a business or going, entrepreneur has like a sexy ring to it, right? I'm a big fan of like Gary Vee and the Shark Tank guys, Damon John. There's all sorts of entrepreneurs, but you watch a couple Gary Vee posts or Eric Thomas, and you read some of the books, and you all charged up. Like, I can do this, I can do that, and you see people that have created businesses, you get real charged up, and it's exciting until like you got to really do the work, and it can be exciting too. But I think that many people think they want to be entrepreneurs and start businesses, but actually don't. They fall in love with the idea, but don't know actually what it's going to take. So what are one of the couple things that it takes, vital traits, I believe, to be a successful entrepreneur? Let's see. One, I think that you have to be durable, in the sense that owning your own business or starting your own business is going to require you to be really flexible. Things are not going to go exactly the way you think. even people that I've spoken with, restaurant owners and builders that have done it, that have 10, 15 restaurants, they're all unique. They're like children. They're all unique. So you have to be able to be flexible, be emotionally stable, and sort of, pliable, so you can go with, you have to have a base and a foundation for what you're going to build your business on and your principles and your values. But I think you got to be flexible. So that's one trait. Another is that what's a trait? What's a trait? I was ready to ask these questions, so forgive me. I wasn't ready to answer any because my two panelists, I'm trying to interview, trying to bring you all other perspectives besides my own. But in my experience, flexibility, you got to have some money. So maybe a lot of times, people say, well, okay, that's easier said than done. And I got a podcast coming out with Danny Lee of Chico in Washington, D.C., Beard Award nominated, all around dynamic duo, him and my man Scott Druno, just phenomenal chefs. And you have to have money. I'm talking to Patrick O'Connell a few months ago of the iconic In a Little Washington. You got to have money. And that's just a fact. And doesn't mean that you have to have the money. Other people have money, right? You have other people that want to be in business, in the restaurant business, and they would gladly invest in you, gladly loan you some money. So if you don't have the money, you got to know how to get the money. And that you got to be able to work with people. So if you're not a good fundraiser, you either got to learn how to be a fundraiser. And the first part of that is simply just asking for it and saying, hey, you got $1 million? Or you got 100,000? Or you got 20,000? Or you got 800? If you don't, you know somebody who does. So you have to have money, or you have to know how to get to the money. And you know how to get to the money by making mistakes and failing and just asking and doing some things you wouldn't normally do. Which leads me to, so one, being flexible and amenable, sort of fluid, being able to roll with the times. Two, getting, money. And the second thing is, third thing is you got to take cold showers. And what do I mean by that? I've said that before. I need a freaking t-shirt with that. I know somebody's going to steal it like they've been stealing Shift Drink. I see you, and I'm going to talk to you. I know who you are. I know you're probably watching this. But we're doing it differently. That's okay, Just give a brother credit. You have to take cold showers. You got to do some things that make you uncomfortable. You got to get outside your comfort zone. So be able to, really solve problems and help people in any business is a problem solving venture. So there's a problem, you have the solution that's going to make people's lives better. And when you enter into that, you're going to be in some different places. Just because even as a restaurateur, you think you're a good cook. Well, you're not just cooking food, because some of the best restaurants or some of the highly acclaimed restaurants are not always, the ones with the best cooks. So you're entering in different spaces and different arenas that you're not comfortable with. And that's okay, but you have to get comfortable with being uncomfortable. It's sort of cliche at this point, but you got to take cold showers. So you got to immerse yourself in these conversations, in these arenas, in different circles that you didn't grow up around, eat different foods, travel to different places, and expose yourself to things that, you're not accustomed to. So take cold showers. So be flexible, especially with your emotionality. Get to the money, or find a team that can get you to the money. You got to have finances, and then, take cold showers. A lot of chefs I've talked to, they've been working in the business for 10, 15, sometimes 20 years, and they want to make the leap into owning their own, whether it be something online or brick and mortar. First steps into making your business a reality are to actually put it on paper. And I know this sounds daunting. I think there's some great software out there. As far as the business plan, I'll talk about the technical stuff first. There's a business plan out there. I forget the name of it. I love it. but it's online. It's a software, and it's plug and play, and it's got copy and paste features. And they ain't pay me for that, so I'm not gonna give it to them. But Live Plan, that's the name of it. I'll give it to them. Live Plan, if you watch it, call me. I love the software. It makes it very simple. They have all sorts of businesses there, but it makes it really easy for you to get a sort of a snapshot of, sort of a global snapshot of your business. And your business plan is live and fluid, and it should change as your business grows and evolves for a number of different reasons. So get a business plan. But the other thing is, fuck the business plan as far as like getting all technical, because we it's daunting. Executive summary and, your extra strategy and your cash flow. And you talk about all this shit, and it can be, if you don't know what these means, your EBITDA, whatever the fuck that acronym is, your EBD, whatever that is, right? It gets overwhelming. Write it down. It's like, what do you want? What do you want to do? If you don't know, I want a restaurant. I want to serve pizza. I want it to be on 9th Street, and I want to do dinners only. That's the start. Who do you want to work there? Do you want sit down? Do you want delivery? Do you want counter? Like, write these things down as much as you can. And that's a start. So I think you got to start there. And then you work backwards. It's reverse engineering. So if you know it's sit down, you'll need, a certain amount of space for tables. And if you want it to be downtown 9th Street, you can do a little bit of research and try to find out about how much the rent is going to be there. So you have rent, and then if you have a sit down and you worked in restaurants, how many people you're going to need to employ, how much salary you'll take yourself. So you have rent, you have payroll, the food, the menu if you're a chef. So you have cost of goods, whether you're going to serve it on plates or in boxes. So you can have a general idea. It's going to cost me about $100,000 to get this off the ground. What people want to see, unless you're going to a bank, they don't want to see every single thing. They want to see that you have an idea about your business. So the biggest thing I think is to write it down. We have so many great ideas. We're creative people, chefs, but we don't write them down and make them more concrete. Who won't make it? Last thing, who won't make it? Who's not a good entrepreneur? This is a tough one for me, and this is something I'd like to hear from you all with your experiences, all of it really. But I think that people that are not successful in being entrepreneurs, and I've had, I'll speak from my own experience, being a chef and being a business owner they aren't, but they can be two completely different things. And I've had struggles with this because some of the same traits or habits that you have as a chef that can make you successful in a kitchen can really work against you as you, I don't say move up, but then you move into a different arena. So that fiery spirit, it's good, but you just have to work and channel in a different way. You can't talk to people in a meeting of investors or, in a board meeting, if you will, the same way you talk to people in the kitchen or at Huddle Up. It just won't work. There's different, it can work, but it's different. So I think your tenacity and your ability to push and learn, you have to think of yourself as a student. That's one thing that transfers over. So I'm going back to who will make it. You have to think of yourself as an apprentice. Remember what it was like to get that first internship and when you would stage for 6 months for free. When you enter in, when you rank up as a business owner and you're asking for mentors on a higher level, you have to really humble yourself. So if you're not able to do that, to going back to the original question, who won't? If you're not a constant learner, if you think you've reached because you're a successful chef, you're like, it's like you're a worker, right? That's work. That doesn't mean you're cut out to own business. So if you're not a humble, you won't make it. Because the business that you're starting, in the grand scheme of things, it's very small. So you need to humble yourself. And you got to know that this is an arena you don't know much about. You can be confident in your ability and the problem that you want to solve, but you got to humble yourself, and you have to be a constant learner. And going back to the money piece real quick before we go, You have to know that money won't solve your problems. There are many entrepreneurs that think that I just need 20 grand for this marketing campaign. I'm never out of time. I don't think I'm out of time. I hope you can still hear me. Money. Damon John's got a great book called the question that I love is, what's the next affordable step? Many people get cash infusions into their business, and they just, what cash allows them the opportunity to do is to slowly go out of business, right? If you put money into the wrong thing, how many restaurants have we seen around this country, around this world, that have just put millions and millions of dollars into a horrible concept? Money won't solve it. If you got shit food, shit service, shit location, then you're gonna have a restaurant that's going out of business, right? I know. I can think of 2 restaurateurs in DC who have done this time and time again, just throwing money at their problems, and they've had shitty restaurants, and they've gone out of business, and they're not doing well. But when you invest in the right things, which always does not mean money, but putting money in the right places, you have the opportunity or the chance to build a successful restaurant, to build a successful brand. So people that think they can just throw money at things generally will not necessarily have the best restaurants. Now, money is important. I'm not going to say money isn't important, but the lack of it, and if you can be resourceful and say, what would I do if I didn't have this money? Right? What can we do? It's just like getting out that food at service time, right? Your catering director comes in and tells you got an extra 40 people to show up, or the client isn't happy, or somebody comes in and says, there's problems in the kitchen. That's all we do is problem solvers. You have to put yourself in that same mindset. Well, what can I do? I know this is fucked up. The server messed up. The manager screwed up. We'll talk about that later over a drink, over a nice little glass of wine, maybe, if y'all still smoking cigarettes. But right now, we got to get it done. So it's the same thing when you're a business owner. What can I do right now? And I think people that throw money at everything lessen their chances to be successful because they aren't as resourceful. So that's it. Thanks a lot, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not jumping into group vocal. I got to run. But I appreciate you if you stuck with me for this long, for 17 minutes. Check us out next week. We'll be right here. Some really exciting stuff on the way. New platform, new little shake it up thing. Give me a shout on everywhere where you're seeing this, wherever you watch, and let me know what you thought. And please send in some constructive feedback. We've been getting it. But tell us what you want to see right here on Shift Drink, on Get Vocal. I'll holler at y'all soon. Take cold showers. Peace.